Hello, this is Marc McElroy. I'm here at the Electric Cave Recording Studio in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I'm here to talk about some more production tips, studio tips, where I'm in the mode of talking about pre-production still. I just did a video about pre-production. Watch it if you haven't. You can find these on YouTube as well, and I'm posting them on Facebook, and I don't know where else they'll be, but have a look around. I did pre-production part 1, in which I was very concerned about arrangement, and then I kind of didn't speak enough about some other pre-production issues. So we're going to do that right now. Let's talk about the tempo of the song. So when you're in pre-production mode, it's great to use a metronome or a metronome app on a phone, but not necessarily go and sit in front of your workstation kind of thing. Because when you're in front of the workstation, your work habit is progress. Go, go, go. Got it. Next, next. And when you're in pre-production, you should be able to be thoughtful enough to take a little time and dilly-dally, kind of look for alternatives a little more than when you're in the work mode. So, not that pre-production isn't work, but it's a different pace of work. That's why it's great to separate them. If you're working at home, do your pre-production in the living room and do your tracking in the music room. Or, of course, do the stuff before you come into the studio. For example, tempo. So, how to find the right tempo. Take your metronome, take whatever instrument the singer might accompany themselves with. Use a section of vocal. Not necessarily the introduction, not necessarily later in the song. A section of the first vocal section, the first verse. That's usually the most dialed in to the tempo that the song should be. Songs have a way of lyrics have a way of creating the tempo themselves. When you're in the right tempo, there's a cadence to it. There's an inner rhythm that just feels right. And so go looking for that. Find it. Find it on your metronome, whatever it happens to be, and then take the next step, which is try it up a little bit. 1 or 2 clicks up. Try it down a little bit. 1 or 2 clicks down. Make sure you've made the right decision. And sometimes when of course, the effect is when you try something up a little bit, it'll have a little more energetic feel, maybe a little too manic. You gotta take it down a little. If you take it down a little bit, you find a groove often. And sometimes it's like, oh yeah, it's right in the pocket. It's right, ooh, this is, instead of the lyrics being, right on top of every beat, they have a little room to ride the beat a little bit, to surf it. And sometimes that's a direction I like to go in. I'm often encouraging people to ooh, just take that down a little. Ooh, yeah, that's a good sound, right? Sometimes they're like, no, 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 it goes like this. It's up to you. If you're arranging, if you're doing the pre-production work, you choose your tempo. But make sure you consider various tempos that are around what the tempo you went to first. Take that number, write it down. It doesn't matter if you don't want to record to a click track or a drum machine. The number is still very helpful. Write it down on your lyric sheet or wherever you're keeping your notes, because when you're in the studio and the recording engineer is setting up a track, they're going to go, hey, what's the tempo on this one? 2 things the recording engineer wants to know way before you're ready to tell them is what's the name of the song, because they have to name it to begin a session, and what's the tempo, because they're going to have to set that up while they're doing their settings. While you're still tuning your instrument or getting your bearings, they want to be doing their work. They say, what's the tempo on the song? You say, it's 88. It's written right there. They put it in. You can still change your mind, but you thought about it. You can be confident in it. You set that aside. It's 88. Because if a band doesn't find their tempo sometimes it's like, I don't know, it kind of goes like this. And then you get into doing this work that could have been done pre-production in your recording time. And then you get that mule by committee thing sometimes where there's a lot of people in the room and people start going, wait a minute, and there may be people who are uncomfortable with recording. They're a little nervous. They don't negotiate well when they're nervous. And so any of those situations you can remove from the recording process is a bonus. So, get your tempo ahead of time. Also, let's talk briefly about key. Sometimes you can experiment with your key. There's a famous story of how Al Green's producer used to find the optimal key for his voice in the rehearsals, and then change it up a half step for the recording. I don't know if how true that is, but it sounds like a great idea, because if you listen to Al Green, you're like, oh my God, he's soaring, he's not going to get it. Oh, he got it! Right? Just at the edge of his ability. That's one way to choose a tempo. Where does it choose a key? Where is the singer's voice most impressive? Also, we tend to write, if you write on guitar, you often use those open string chords, E minor, E, C, G, D. Just kind of pick up a guitar and go to them. No one picks up a guitar and plays an E flat, unless you're really into jazz. But even seldom, a lot of jazz players play an E flat because horn players sometimes prefer it. But or you just go like, this song starts with a B flat. Those bar chords that are on the first fret are a little weird. They're not the comfortable place to go to first. But by doing this, or piano players, I know guys who like to use playing keys with lots of black keys. So I know a lot of people who stick to the white keys. Don't know a lot of the keys in between. They have like 3 flats, 3 sharps. It's like, and so like, yeah, piano players don't go for an A, just like guitarists don't go for E flat. Because 3 sharps is just it's not enough to be up on, to move your playing posture up onto those black keys completely, but it's a lot of back and forth. But you got to find the right key for the song, not necessarily where you're most comfortable playing. So take your song. Guitarists can do this easily. Take a capo, try to go up a little bit, and then try to transpose up and down a step or something. See what it does. Does it do something good? Does it do something bad? If nothing else, if doing the searching for the tempo or searching for the key, if it does nothing else, it will make you more confident in your the choice you've already made. And so you won't be in the position of like, was that the right key? Should we be singing a little higher? Also, going back to the singer-songwriter thing, singer-songwriters tend not to challenge their voice when they're writing, unless they're trying to. You kind of get into that songwriting haze, and you start strumming your favorite chords and putting melodies over it, and often you fall into this little box of an area of key and tempo. So try to push yourself out of that. Alright, so that's pre-production part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. I plan on making more of these videos. People seem to like them alright, and I hope it's helpful to you, and thanks for watching.